The production of our campaign entailed attempting to conform to some conventions and forms of music videos, such as utilisation of Barth's binary oppositions and Goodwin's arguments concerning the relationship between visuals and lyrics, while challenging other music video conventions such as Dyer's profession of lip-syncing to promote parasocial intimacy through meat shots. This was achieved as we created a purely narrative music video, forming clear artistic continuity with magazine advertisement and digipack. Goodwin's critical framework can be clearly applied to our music video, and it is evident where we have moulded our video to utilise this theory. We aimed to create an amplifying relationship between lyrics and visuals. While at some points the visuals directly corresponded with the lyrics, such as the first scene where she takes a pill directly referring to the line, "Second Adderall to take the edge off the crazy," a moment upon which our music video is contingent upon, as the series of events are a slight manifestation of the effects of drug taking. Here, the use of colour grading emphasises the strength of relationship between lyrics and visuals. However, our video largely has an amplifying relationship, evident in the use of camera work to reflect the lyrics. An example is the use of a pan-up until just before the girl's face enters the frame, to create audience affiliation with the character through the desire to be positioned with her, before cutting to a shot of the fire to reinforce the lyrics, "Don't you look back in case of fire." This is a lyric we utilise throughout, often using clips of her running away to coincide with this lyric. Goodwin's reference to fetishistic and voyeuristic media texts link into our attempt to portray gender in an ideologically destabilising fashion. I believe the use of point-of-view shots is particularly voyeuristic by directly positioning the audience with the girl, in binary opposition between the potential for fetishistic shots we could have implemented. With regards to the form of our music video, the structure of a purely narrative music video is generally unconventional, as the majority of music videos today have performance scenes in order to perform meat shots and promote parasocial intimacy with the audience, such as this funk music video. Our use of text also illustrates this narrative nature, drawing parallels with Kendrick Lamar's narrative-based video and almost short film, These Walls. Our promotional campaign as a whole largely conforms to the conventions of the funk genre, mainly through the use of visual motifs and iconography. We make direct intertextual references within the video to the funk genre, such as the shot of the number plate, which also achieves continuity between the music video and the whole album, as the best-selling single on the album is called Uptown Funk. Further examples of conforming to funk genre is found through the use of iconography. Our digipack and magazine advertisement do not only have direct correlation, but they also utilise visual motifs. A beer bottle is iconographic with the funk genre and the overlying theme of rebellion, as is the presence of fire consuming the digipack. This forms clear links with my previous research of digipacks, whereby the self-titled album LCD Sound System utilised iconic signs through the use of a disco ball, being iconographic of the electronica funk scene. Our magazine advertisement also took simplistic advice from LCD Sound System's ad, whereby the picture is rich in connotations, with LCD Sound System clearly portrayed as a sharp performer, and our magazine advertisement also adopting simplistic titles to allow the picture to dominate the reading path. However, we also challenged conventions of the funk genre in our video by performing a purely narrative video, something Mark Ronson has not done before. This taps into our overall aim of rebranding Mark Ronson's artistic capabilities as involving visual storytelling as well as oral. This challenge is also evident in the print work. Although adopting a simplistic style similar to the majority of popular funk albums, the use of titles is very different. We believed integrating the titles into the digipack ties into our aim of rebranding the artist and also creates a sense of verisimilitude. This is continued into the magazine ad, where we kept added titles to a minimum. Our texts, especially the music video, are definitely polysemic. This taps into Barth's Death of the Author, written in '67, where he argues that meaning is no longer created by the filmmaker, but by the audience, introducing the concept of open media texts. The The main way our text is an open media text is through the varying connotations we have implemented. While some may interpret the girl to be a figure of rebellion and youth, serving no good purpose other than to wreak havoc on the world, some may see it as the opposite and feel sympathy for a girl who, despite however much she tries, always seems to fail and eventually ends up reaping what she sowed. Both these interpretations are facilitated by the connotations of fire. The open nature of the text is also evident through the fact audience readings can be preferred, negotiated, or oppositional. This is evident in our audience focus group. A microcosm of audience readings varying is the pill-taking section. Some may interpret this action as a visual motif of rebellion, others as an iconic sign of loneliness, or some may view it as merely iconographic of youthful connotations, tapping into Dyer's star theory. Despite being a largely open media text, our music video does have narrative closure. Utilising Pam Cook's theory, the enigmatic arc of the text is resolved, with the intercutting of fire during the zoom out not only highlighting isolation and loneliness, but also making direct references to the events in the rest of the video, suggesting the end is an amalgamated consequence. This is clear evidence of the narrative arc being resolved, but there is no narrative closure. This narrative arc is exemplified by the links drawn between the first scene and the final shot, making a link between cause and effect. We wanted to introduce an element of narrative fuzz to continue the audience's affiliation with the character. Though parasocial intimacy was achieved by the actor frequently looking into the lens at the audience in an almost futile call for help or reassurance, the final shot is important in meaning there is a degree of lack of closure. The audience may or may not understand her house has been burnt down as a result of her fiery, rebellious nature, but definitely does not understand why, nor where she goes from here. This encourages repeatability for the audience to fully comprehend the incoherent star image. Utilization of another important theorist, Barth and Levi-Strauss's binary oppositions, was important in achieving connotations of the girl. One noticeable binary opposition is between fire and water, whereby the swimming pool scene was largely constructed to highlight the resilient nature of the girl through her ability to battle two major elements which are in binary opposition with one another. Furthermore, her utilization of fire to escape the bailiffs is another example of binary oppositions feeding into rebellious connotations. While keeping theorists' arguments in our minds, we also attempted to emulate cinematic techniques pioneered by historical directors in order to contribute to Dyer's star image theory, portraying Mark Ronson as a creative genius. For example, the use of jump cuts first pioneered by Jean-Luc Godard. This gives the girl almost superhuman traits, constructing a binary opposition between the desaturated reality of pre-pill taking and the oversaturated, utopia-like setting post-pill taking. Semiotics can be used to deconstruct the text. Our use of semiotics' predominant purpose is to fulfill Dyer's star qualities. Identified as rebellion, youth, anti-authoritarian, and originality, we attempted to connote these through signifiers. One example is, of course, fire, being an iconic sign of anger and rebellion. This metaphor continues across the video, digipack, and magazine ad, connoting the volatile nature of the girl, and therefore the volatile nature of youth as a whole. This is in clear alignment with Dyer's star image theory. This metaphor is even heightened at points, such as through the binary opposition between water and fire, due to water being an indexical sign for refreshment and revitalization. The fact that she continues to battle fire is significant, also in drawing connotations about the pressures young people face. If our use of semiotics is not enough to reveal the postmodern nature of our promotional campaign, our aim of repeatability confirms this. Facilitated by narrative fuzz, this taps into the concept of digital democratization in an attempt to increase consumption. The use of stylized features in the music video confirms this postmodernism. One feature we mirrored was the use of jumping camera movement, inspired by the music video for Joey Badass, Like Me. We furthered this stylistic feature in the woods scene, where we used time-lapse to slow down the pace of the visuals in light of the song, and then took a slow motion effect off when the pace of the song picks up. Using jump cuts and jumps in camera movement, as well as a change in speed, creates a very hyper-real situation, in alignment with the pill take at the start of the video. Something we intentionally aimed to do was to create an ideologically destabilizing campaign. Our products challenge the dominant ideology relating to gender in music videos due to our abstract narrative. This was achieved by challenging the convention of girls being in music videos merely to serve the half of a relationship. Even Sharon Jones' video centers around this stereotypical topic. The strength of this challenge is furthered by the print campaign, which continues the powerful effect the single girl has through continuance of the fire metaphor and iconography for rebellion. The use of a beer also forms a link with the music video's destabilizing inclusion of the girl getting a beer, an action normally stereotypically confined to male characters, especially when alone. We also attempted to address age, by portraying the girl as young, in her school uniform. The audience associates rebellious connotations, volatile nature, and powerful effects with a young schoolgirl. This is an irregular link and therefore ideologically challenging.